If we rewind just a few years back, we reached a time where every new game that was released was a battle royale of some sort. When Fortnite dances were done all over schools, when PUBG was topping Steam charts, and when Call of Duty was like, yeah, you know what, we'll do that too. Battle royales were everywhere. But now it feels like the genre just kind of vanished from the spotlight. While the big battle royales that managed to get a loyal player base still remain today, we don't really see too many new releases. So what exactly happened to battle royale games? Why did one of the most explosive genres in gaming history suddenly lose its grip on the mainstream? Today we're taking a look at the rise, domination, and gradual decline of the battle royale genre. So let's dive into the world of the battle royale trend that took over the world and why it's fading out. Let's go back to the start. Before Fortnite, Warzone, PUBG, there was DayZ, a mod for Arma 2 and Minecraft Hunger Games. In 2012, a modder named Brendan Green, who most might know as PlayerUnknown, created a custom game mode for Arma 2 called DayZ Battle Royale. It was inspired by the Japanese movie Battle Royale, where students were dropped onto an island and forced to kill each other until one survivor remained. This idea, one map, a shrinking play zone, loot-based survival, and only one winner would lay the groundwork for a genre that would eventually become a global phenomenon. Green later developed a similar mode for Arma 3 and would later collaborate on H1Z1 King of the Kill. That game saw success. I don't know about you, but there was something that felt so eerily creepy about the sirens warning you that the poisonous smoke thing was moving. H1Z1 would gain quite some success, and several streamers who would later become giants within the Battle Royale space played the game. Among these were Tfue, Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, Summit1G, and Ninja. I want your input too though. Do you have a favorite Battle Royale game? And if so, is it one of the bigger ones, or is it more of a niche one that you wish got more mainstream attention? Let me know in the comments. In March 2017, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, or PUBG, was released on Steam. It was a janky, slow, and somewhat clunky shooter, but it nailed the tension and chaos of a 100-player free-for-all. PUBG wouldn't just become a massive hit, it was a revolution in the gaming industry. By the end of 2017, it had sold over 30 million copies and was dominating Twitch with several thousands of concurrent viewers. It was the first time a Battle Royale game had captured both the casual and competitive scene all at once. Streamers like Shroud, Dr. Disrespect, and Choco Taco would gain a lot of popularity for their gameplay, especially their high kill games, and help introduce the game to even more people. Real ones know what the heck. If you know, you know. Suddenly, Battle Royale wasn't just a niche survival concept. It was a new blueprint for multiplayer gaming. And then came Fortnite, or to be specific, Fortnite Battle Royale. Originally, Fortnite was a co-op zombie defense game called Save the World. But in September 2017, Epic Games quickly pivoted and released a free-to-play Battle Royale mode. And this game would absolutely dominate. With its cartoonish style, building mechanics, and focus on live events, Fortnite appealed to a much younger audience. And when Ninja played with Drake in 2018 and broke Twitch records, it solidified Fortnite as a cultural touchstone of the genre. But we'll never forget about this moment though. And with Fortnite being a free-to-play game and having a relatively easier learning curve, it had far greater accessibility compared to games like PUBG, which costed $30 at the time. Fortnite became more than a game. In a way, it became a platform with their live events, cross-brand collaborations, and creative modes. A place where you could watch Travis Scott perform, meet Goku, and do the floss dance, somehow all within the same game. Fortnite and PUBG would become the two main giants of the Battle Royale world at this time. With these two games proving that Battle Royale meant big money and showing other developers that there was a huge audience for these games, the floodgates opened. By 2018, everybody wanted in. Call of Duty Blackout launched that fall, Apex Legends dropped out of nowhere in 2019 and was amazing. Even smaller titles like Realm Royale, Darwin Project, and Totally Accurate Battlegrounds jumped in. Even CSGO would introduce a Battle Royale mode. Do you know how huge something has to be for CSGO for Valve to start innovating? Yeah, crazy. Every major studio was either working on or releasing their own Battle Royale mode. But here's the thing. Most of these games didn't survive. Battle Royale wasn't just a mode that you release and then move on. It was a commitment. You needed constant updates, seasonal content, a competitive scene, and arguably one of the most important things, a a reason for players to grind every week, PUBG being the only exception to this rule. I feel like PUBG for a long time stayed pretty much the same, unlike Fortnite with its bi-weekly content updates. Most of these smaller games couldn't keep up with the pace set by Fortnite and Apex, and the market quickly became oversaturated. From about 2018 to 2021, the genre was at its peak. Fortnite was redefining live service gaming, PUBG still had an extremely loyal player base, Apex Legends kept innovating with movement and abilities, Warzone brought Call of Duty style gameplay to the format, and newcomers like Fall Guys brought a more casual, chaotic spin to the genre. This was the golden age of Battle Royale. Every game had a battle pass. Yeah, for all my young and new gamers out there, did you know that there was a time where not every single game in existence had a battle pass? Crazy thought, right? Every shooter had a shrinking circle, and every kid knew what a victory royale was. But like all trends in gaming, the fall off would eventually begin. The decline didn't happen all at once. It was slow and almost invisible at first, but the signs were there. It started with oversaturation. After Fortnite and PUBG proved how profitable the formula was, every studio tried to cash in. We got Ring of Elysium, Hyperscape, Radical Heights, Realm Royale, Vampire the Masquerade, Blood Hunt, the list goes on. And the problem? Most of them didn't bring anything new, and if they did, it wasn't as polished as other games. Players got tired of dropping into slightly different versions of the same game over and over again. At the same time, the novelty wore off. In the beginning, every match felt unique. Every win felt like an achievement, but after years of playing the same loop, drop in, loot, die, repeat. It started to feel like a grind. The excitement wasn't really there anymore. Even Fortnite, despite its innovations, began to see dips in excitement. PUBG faded into the background, and Warzone 2 launched, and well, disappointed a lot of people. And that's where the genre started to lose momentum. At this time, there were simply mainly 4 games that had solidified their player base. PUBG, Fortnite, Apex, and Warzone had managed to build a loyal player base. The release of new battle royales is still high. However, when a new battle royale dropped, most players would probably check it out for maybe a few days, best case scenario maybe a week, only to later return to one of the main 4 I mentioned before. So let's take a look at where things started to go downhill. At first, battle royales were exciting because they felt fresh. The concept of 100 players dropping into a massive map and fighting to be the last one standing was intense, unpredictable, and thrilling. But once the format exploded, several developers got kind of lazy. Instead of innovating, most studios just started copying the big ones. Everyone wanted a slice of the Fortnite or PUBG pie. For a while, it felt like the main thought process was copy whatever Fortnite is doing. So we ended up with dozens of nearly identical games, same shrinking circle, same looting mechanics, same gunplay, no real meaningful evolution, no experimentation, and the genre got stagnant fast. There's also this kind of paradox where players want something to be different, but if it's too different, they don't want it either. It's weird. Player wants are really weird and can be extremely hard to satisfy. Then came the battle pass flood. Every game had a battle pass, Fortnite being the first game to really bring battle passes to the mainstream. And while that might have been fine in 1 or 2 games, it became overwhelming. And greed would also obviously eventually take over. Players were constantly being asked to either spend money or miss out on this limited time content, or they could get their free tier rewards, which are usually just horrible. Not to mention the amount of daily, weekly, and seasonal challenges you'd have to do for these worthless rewards. The fun turned into a job. Now, I haven't played Fortnite in years, so I don't know if this is still the case, but what I always respected about the Battle Pass in Fortnite is that you buy the Battle Pass for V-Bucks, right? But you also get V-Bucks back by completing the Battle Pass. So if you fully complete the Battle Pass, you'll get enough V-Bucks back to buy the next one. You can afford the next Battle Pass. That's something that the other games didn't do, which goes back to the greed taking over. But that's one thing that I always respected a lot about the Fortnite Battle Pass. Then there's the content droughts. In live service games, content is king, but many battle royales would go months without meaningful updates. And when the updates did arrive, they were often underwhelming. New guns, maybe a slight map tweak, nothing that actually changed the experience. But to play devil's advocate a bit, new content is a hard thing to balance. PUBG, for example, has had very little change to the gameplay. from 2018 to current day, the gameplay still very much looks a lot like it did back in 2018, apart from a few new items. And PUBG for that reason is often criticized for the lack of new content. But on the other hand, Fortnite had their racy, rapid new content schedule, which was also criticized because with such frequent new updates, horrible or overpowered stuff is inevitable. It will be added to the game. But worst of all, they stopped being fun. Battle Royales became sweat fests. Every lobby was filled with ultra competitive players, no room for casual fun. You're gonna lose a lot of the casual players. In Fortnite, if you decide to shoot at someone, you better hope you kill them instantly, or that player will proceed to build the entire Manhattan skyline on your ass faster than you can blink. In PUBG, you'll drop in, loot for about 30 minutes, just to be killed with no time to react or fire back by a level 500 sweat who hasn't stopped playing the game since 2017. The game's matchmaking is pretty much non-existent, and there's really no incentive for new players to learn the game or keep playing it if they start. PUBG has some of the worst item systems I've ever seen as well. Oh, you got an item from a crate? Nope, you have to build it. You just got the blueprint. Oh, you got a key to unlock a chest? Nope, you got 1/3 of the key. Good luck getting the other 2 fragments. Oh, you got one of the cool skins from the hideout? Well, you have to upgrade it for it to actually look cool or look good, which will take a decade unless you buy our battle pass, of course, and even then will be time consuming as hell. It's such a bad system. I don't know how PUBG hasn't changed this yet. So, PUBG rant aside, where are we now? The genre isn't dead. Not at all, but it's no longer at the center of the gaming universe. Still, especially Fortnite and Apex Legends still have very popular events, but it's not as much in the spotlight as it was back then. Fortnite is still going strong and constantly coming out with new collabs. Are there even any original skins in the game anymore? It feels like anytime I see Fortnite gameplay, I see them playing as Spider-Man, Sabrina Carpenter, Goku, Wolverine. Like, what happened to these skins? Like, do they make original skins anymore? Apex Legends still remains popular with a very dedicated community and a pretty big tournament. Warzone is still around, but from what I've seen, the player base is pretty split and updates haven't really recaptured the magic of Verdansk. So much so that they actually brought back the map. PUBG is bigger in Asia than it is in the West, especially on mobile, but it's still very much a popular game and has a loyal player base all in all. But beyond these 4 titans, the new entries haven't really made a big impact. Games like Hyperscape, H1Z1 King of the Kill, Ring of Elysium, and Realm Royale have all shut down. The initial excitement we saw in 2017 to 18, it's just not there anymore. So what's next? Is Battle Royale over for good? Probably not, but it is evolving. We're seeing hybrid formats take over. Games like Escape from Tarkov and The Finals are blending Battle Royale elements with extraction shooter gameplay. Fortnite Creative is empowering players to build their own experiences, some of which include Battle Royale style mechanics. The genre may no longer be trendy for new games, but it is becoming a foundation, something that other games can build on, remix, and evolve from. Almost similar to how deathmatch became a standard in first-person shooters. Battle Royale might be heading that same way. Not a trend, but a genre. An idea for people to build upon. So what exactly happened to Battle Royale games? They dominated the conversation for almost 5 years, but like every other genre that explodes in popularity, they eventually hit a saturation point. Today, Battle Royales still exist, obviously. They're still fun, but they're no longer new. Gaming is always moving forward. And maybe, just maybe, Battle Royale will make a comeback someday, in a form we never saw coming. Battle Royales introduced some very tense and exciting gameplay that I don't really think any other FPS genre captures. PUBG, for example, is almost like a horror game when you play solo, and the rush you get from being the last one standing, solo or with your squad, in a hot drop like School or Hacienda is like no other. I personally am very excited for the day we see a new and good, being the keyword here, Battle Royale game that captures the same feeling as PUBG and Fortnite did in 2017. I really miss a good Battle Royale, but as for now, we'll have to wait. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and tell me in the comments what your favorite Battle Royale game is. Also, I'm sorry for not uploading for a long time. I was sick with COVID for over a week, and my voice was really fucked at that time. It was really bad. But I'm back now, so expect more uploads. I've been Zach, and thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. See ya.